Hello and welcome to Mr. TripAdvisor. Now on my other channel, MGTracey, you'll find all the hints and tips you need if it's the first time you've driven a hybrid. This is a Toyota in the States, the Venza, and it's a hire car, and I had a pretty steep learning curve. So all that is in another video, which I'll put a link to here. But this video is about what you should not do with a hybrid, and this applies to any brand of hybrid. So rule number one, don't leave your fuel flap open. Hybrids work in a very different way in the way they recapture some of the fumes so they're not released when you're filling up at the petrol station. Leaving them open too long can cause all sorts of problems, including when you go to refill, all the gas or petrol being thrown back at you. And that's why you've got an electric button here to release it, because it doesn't do it instantly. It actually does some other clever bits behind the scenes to make sure that no vapour is coming out. So once you've done that, fill up promptly, shut it, and the car will do its stuff again behind the scenes. You don't need to know too much what it's doing because it's very technical, I'm told, but it's a problem if you leave that open for too long, certainly more than 15 minutes. Tip number two on what not to do with your hybrid is you need to know where the batteries are. This depends whether it's a plug-in hybrid or an ordinary hybrid where the petrol engine or diesel engine is charging it. Now in the Venza, underneath here is a massive battery that is used to power the car. Now these things do have a protective cover on them, but they're not particularly waterproof. So in the States out here, if you happen to put a bag of ice on there, or you've got kids in there that have spilt a lot of liquid, mop up as much as you can and then check with your dealer to make sure the car's still okay. That water getting into those massive batteries can be very dangerous and give you a lot of grief. If you've got a different hybrid, make sure you find out where the batteries are, so if anything happens in normal family life, you can make sure that it's not dangerous. Inside a hybrid, the drive is completely different. There's no gearbox, the gears are controlled by software, and you effectively got two engines. In this one, you've got a 2.5 litre petrol engine that's used when you need a bit of oomph and to charge the batteries. That's under the seats I've shown you. And then you've got an all-electric drivetrain here, which I say has no gears. It may feel sometimes, it looks like it's got gears, but it's just software simulating those. Now, the most important thing here is you cannot jump start another car from a hybrid. It has a very tiny battery. It doesn't have an alternator. It's a completely different beast. You are going to mess it up completely. So however you want to be that good Samaritan, you can't jump start another car from a hybrid. Another thing is to always make sure you do not overfill the oil. That is a real problem with a hybrid car, much more so than with just a normal petrol car. So make sure that you've got the right level of oil and you definitely don't overfill it. If you do, it's a trip to the dealers. Then the last important thing I just wanted to tell you about with hybrids is you can't really use engine braking because you've got no gearbox, you've got no gears. Yes, over here you can come down and simulate over here by you controlling the gears, but remember there aren't any gears. This is just software mimicking how that would feel. That's why you have a drive, but you don't have a 2 or 1 or a low like you would in a normal automatic car. So if you're going down a hill and you've over-egged it a bit and you need to slow down, then just use the brake. The brake is going to reclaim that energy and it is going to put it into that battery behind the back seat. Don't try and do it with engine braking. That is not going to work with your hybrid. Hope you found that useful. Please send us a message. Please like, share and subscribe. This is Paul. I'll see you in the next video on Mr. TripAdvisor.